Hey everyone, it's Adele and April from Just Say Scrap with Close to My Heart, and we are here with our 55th Technique Tuesday. So we are outside enjoying the nice weather while it's still here, right Mama?
Yes.
So we are in our backyard enjoying the weather. Do you spy the Santa?
Always there. It's always Christmas in
Christmas
my home.
Yes. So we have something a little bit different today. It is still continuing in our stamping techniques. However, it does not involve a stamp this time.
So I guess you'll just have to wait and see what the technique is.
Ready to show them?
I am.
All right, here we go. So you are probably now wondering what our technique is. Would you like to tell them?
Sure. It's called the string and block. So as you can see here, we have string or ribbon, and we're going to use some blocks, different blocks, to show you this technique.
Yes.
Which one should we start with first?
Why don't we show them a little bit with the poppy twine. This is an older twine, but it is still on the website for now, so make sure you go check out this twine. It doesn't have to specifically be this color, but this thickness. So, or if you have any extras lying around. Let's use that one first.
All right. So I'm going to show you a very simple way to do it right now.
Which block? You want to use that one?
Yeah, I'm gonna use our 2x2 block, and I'm just gonna hold this. Normally, if you wrap it around a lot, you're gonna need to tie it at the top, and so I'm just gonna. Oops, let me.
So you want to make sure when you're starting this that you have the flat surface is where you want your twine to actually end up. You'll see what we mean when we actually start, but make sure that this is the side where most of your twine is, this flat surface.
Right, because instead of using a stamp, an acrylic stamp, we are going to be using the block as our stamp and the string as our design. So I'm just going to hold this on the bottom and just wrap it around. This is a very simple design that I'm going to be using.
We're going to turn over this Versamat and use our brand new Candy Apple Red.
Yes, it just happens to be
the same color almost.
The same color, but yes. And you just want to make sure you ink up your twine.
Make sure you have a paper towel or a tissue.
Yes. To wipe off
the
extra ink that's on the block. And then you're going to just stamp. I'm going to do it here and see. The twine is really great because it gives a lot of detail.
Like candy canes.
It does kind of look like candy canes. So
you will get inky. You can already see your hands are.
Yes, I'm getting inky already.
But these blocks are definitely going to have to be cleaned after that. And this twine is going to have to be thrown away. So that is one way that you could use this technique. So why don't we move on to, this is a thinner twine. Also, don't be afraid to use your twine up as well. I mean, you will have to throw it away in the end, but use it on a tiny one.
I was going to use that for our very thin.
Oh, great. Okay, I forgot about that.
What I'm going to do here is, this has a little gold thread in it, so I wanted to see exactly what kind of design is going to come out with that. And when you twirling this, you could do all different types of design. So I'm going to just, April's going to snip that twine for me. And again, I'm just going to hold it on the side. And we're going to use a different color now, just to show you the different types.
Why not use lilac?
And this is also one of our brand new colors. It's really pretty. Look at that. Isn't that a pretty color? Where am I going? Isn't that a pretty color? All right, so again, I'm just going to pound, 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 pound.
I've been shaking a little bit.
Oh, yeah, sorry about that. And we're just going to, my design, I squished my design a little. And again, we're just going to stamp that up.
That's cool.
And this is a more subtle design, but you could see where the threads, the gold threads in here
took out
the ink. Mm-hmm. So basically the same thing as the thick twine where it was twirled. What are we going to use now?
I want to see if we can make a spider web.
Oh, okay. So for this, I think what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna make sure that we use the flat side. I'm gonna try to tie it so it stays a little better this
You want me
time.
to help you?
Sure,
Here, do you want to hold the bottom and I'll design the web?
sure.
Let's see if we can figure out how to make a spider web here. This might use a little bit more of your twine,
Mm-hmm.
but that is okay, as long as it looks cool.
And do you see what April is doing? She actually went around the bottom of the block to hold the string in place.
I'm gonna squeeze it under your finger.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. This one might get a little bit more complicated. Whoops, I lost it.
You lost it. Oh,
okay.
no.
You can never mess up in scrapbooking. There's only extra embellishing.
That's right.
Does it kind of look like a spider web?
It's getting there. Spider webs are,
Well,
you know, the spiders are very talented.
They are. Let's tie it, and then maybe we can go over it.
Okay,
a
so
few times.
we're gonna turn this over, and we are going to tie it. I don't know.
It
where
might
the
not
end
work
went.
exactly how I want it to, but that's okay.
I'm gonna hold this end, and there you go.
This is a little bit more complicated. But play with it and see what...
Oh yeah,
see
you
what
can
you
have a
like.
lot of fun with this. You can even, if you don't want to go around it multiple times, you could go around it, tie it, go around it, tie it,
Yes.
depending on what kind of design
Use the
you want.
charcoal.
And now we're
Can I
gonna.
try it?
Sure.
Okay.
She's like a little kid.
Sorry. It's also on the white twine. It actually will be a little bit easier to see that you've inked it up.
That looks very cool.
See, you could just keep going.
And when you are using this technique, you can leave the string on and you could fill your whole page or just little parts of it like we've been doing, but you can cover
So
a
if we were
larger
to make a
area.
Halloween card with this, maybe it's coming up in the future. That's fun.
Yes,
You can see
and-
I'm actually getting ink on the edges of the block, but it's blending right in.
Yes, and with this twine, with this our white twine, which we still have, you can see that since was nothing there were no like thinner threads in it, there's a more solid line.
Mm-hmm. This would be really cool for a Halloween card.
Yes, it would.
All right.
Now we're going to move on to our 1x1 block, and we're going to be using our brand new embellishing thread, and it's a silver and it's very thin. So I want to see.
And our bluebird ink.
And our bluebird ink. Oh my gosh, I love this new color. We're going to see what we're going to do here. What do you want? What kind of, do you want to do just like a crossy type thing where?
Like
This-
a basket weave kind of thing?
Maybe, yeah. Let's try a basket weave type of thing.
I know we are two people doing this, but
And yes, and one person can do this. We'll just, do you want to do it like
yeah,
the
so
one
it's
way
gonna-
and then we'll tie it and then we'll go the other way?
Do you think that's enough?
I think that's enough.
Should I spread it out a
Yes,
little
I was
more? Here,
thinking
let's
more.
try again.
Yeah,
See, and you could even just undo the design and...
and redo it. Yes, that's more what I was thinking.
Sorry, our minds did not think alike this time.
That's okay.
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 You want to
now-
tie it or do you want me to tie it?
You might have to tie it because they're very thin. So.
I didn't leave myself a lot of room on this one, but I can tie things very tiny.
Yes, that's why I let her do it.
I've been sewing too long. Been sewing since I'm like in kindergarten.
All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put the twine the other way, the opposite way. See what kind of design.
Can I hold it?
Oh yes, of course. Yeah, with the 1x1 block, it's
It's a little harder for both of us to hold.
for lots of fingers to be on it.
Yes. And this twine, there's so much of it. It doesn't look like there's a lot because we've used a lot of it. It's a very, very pretty twine. So
Oh, you
that's
could,
why it looks like it's...
yes, and you could use it for this technique. You can use it to sew your papers. You could use it as a design behind
Can you just hold it?
embellishments. Do you want me to just
Yeah.
hold this? Okay,
Thank
yes.
you. Yeah, this is a very... So there was a lot of twine on this one.
And
Do
we
not
used
get
a
us wrong.
lot of it.
There are 10 yards. So 30 feet. If I did my math right.
Yes, you did.
All right.
All right. So now we're just gonna ink this up in the bluebird. And oh, I got a little bit on the edges, so I'm just gonna, yeah. And this is a metallic thread also, so I'm curious to see.
It might not hold the ink as well, but it still will give, this maybe you could use for like snowflakes.
Yeah, that would be good. And I'm used to using my fingers, sorry.
Yeah. When we ink, we get very messy. Like, look at this.
Yeah, so this silver thread is very delicate, so.
And even if you have that little design around it, you know what you could do? That'd be cool. You could do this. If you had like a saffron color or something, and you did it like this, you can make it like a...
Yes, like a patch quilt.
Yeah. I mean, you'd have to keep re-inking it. You can see that it starts to fade, but the size of this block and that looks pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you had like a different color ink that's more like fall colors. That could be a cool card.
Definitely.
We're giving you cards ideas. Maybe you'll be seeing these along the way. And then our last one. Our tissues.
Our last one, we're using our burlap ribbon because we figured this has such a cool texture on its own. I wanted to see what it would look like when you ink it up.
Yeah, let's do like a small piece just to see.
Okay.
Because this one, there are 5 yards on here, so you do have 15 feet of it. But I don't want to waste as much of this.
Right. So if you have a specific design in mind.
You could even just do this and use the one string. It might take a little longer, but...
Oops, I didn't have it on the flat side. That's why it wasn't laying flat. So what are we inking this up in?
Sage.
Sage. Okay. Okay, so we kind of like paired them up with the same
I
colors.
didn't do that on purpose.
Oops. All right.
Do you need a smaller block?
Do I need a smaller
Here.
block? Yeah, maybe a smaller block will work.
Take it.
Yes. So this with
Great
the burlap,
sound.
with the burlap ribbon, you may have to ink it up a lot.
So this
more.
has a much more of a texture to it, so it's not catching those inside threads. So that's what I'm having difficulty with. But if you really play with it, there we go. So actually, that's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have a bigger block that you work with, maybe take a dauber to the ink pad and then ink your thread like that. Or maybe just don't use the burlap. I mean, it's working. It looks kind of cool. You could write with this. Hi. So, you experiment. You see what you like, see what you don't like. This one might have been a little bit of a fail with the burlap, but we made it work in the end, so not really a fail. But those are a bunch of our different textures of our different threads. So you've got the thinner twine, the embellishing thread, you have the thin twine, you have the thick twine.
And you have the twine with
Burlap.
the burlap, and you have the twine that has the
golden
gold,
threads in right over here.
the threads in there.
So yeah, so we experimented with all of these, but please feel free to experiment with other ones, and if you guys find that some other thread works cool as well, let us know.
So there we have it. Happy stamping!
And that's Technique Tuesday. Thank you for watching. We hope you've enjoyed. If you have any questions about our string and block technique, let us know. It's new to us. It's new to you. And I think this is actually going to be a lot of fun to use.
Definitely.
Especially maybe making own background paper or like designs or
Christmas cards.
that would be
ho.
great. So, wait, you're blocking him. There he
sorry.
is. Do we have anybody else back there? No, I don't know where the others went. But
They light up. That's why they're out all the time. So, all right, that's Technique Tuesday. If you have any questions, like we said, leave them in the comments below. Thank you to everybody who has subscribed to us recently, and thank you to all of our following subscribers. We've now passed a year, and
Yes,
we are continuing on our journey.
And we're having lots of fun.
Yes. All right, we'll see you next Tuesday. Bye.
Bye.
Some you lose some.
Maybe tie it on there. Tie it tight.
I can't tie that. I'll just put it. Happy inking.
Stamping, stamping.
If you thought that our twine and block technique, or string and twine, or what?
Just stringy twine, stringy block. Oh, look, I have a flower in my head.
Okay, ready? My arm's getting tired.